It's HPR1, and I'm Dave Lawrence. Recently, a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame guitarist released a solo album, Space Invader. Ace Frehley, former Kiss guitarist. Something that makes the release noteworthy might be that it's achieved a bit of critical praise for authentic rock grit in the songwriting. Another thing, though, would be the attention given to his technique in making it. Setting out to capture a classic sound using classic equipment, and even using a classic approach. Here are some highlights. That's Gimme Lovin' and the title track, Space Invader, and we hear more as we welcome the Space Ace himself, Ace Frehley. Hey there, Ace.
Hi, Dave.
It is a treat to welcome you to All Things Considered.
My pleasure.
How did you come up with the music that's on here and maybe the aesthetic that it offers?
Some songs I'll write in a day or an hour. Other songs take several days. Sometimes I'm writing lyrics and it's almost as if somebody else is beaming them into my head. Sometimes it's painstaking, but the recording process took 10 months, and I'm just happy everybody likes it.
The title track just gave you that feel like you were cruising in the late 70s.
I haven't changed the way I record since 1978. Obviously, there's some similarities happening. By design, I tried to incorporate a few elements from past records, getting Warren Huart on board to mix, because he uses all vintage gear. Mindset is sort of a vintage sound, which is what I was looking for.
Analog recording part of that process?
No, we recorded to disc, the whole record, but using analog equipment as opposed to digital equipment. Old tube preamps, old microphones, old amplifiers. There's plugins now when you mix that kind of recreate tape compression.
Sure.
It's close, but it's not exact. We used an old SSL board, and I believe he even had some tape delay running when we did some mixing.
You're integrating this material into a live set. Are there favorite Kiss songs that you like to play as opposed to things you know the crowd wants to hear?
Somebody just asked me what beat songs are definitely going to be in the set, and I said, well, obviously New York Groove, Cold Gin, and Shock Me. But it's going to be a cross-section of a variety of songs. My career spans 40 years. There's a lot of records to pick from.
The Kiss album covers, they were something. Rock and Roll Over is my favorite. What's yours?
That's hard to say. Destroy is one of my favorites, and Love Gun. Ken Kelly painted those, and I was lucky enough to acquire his services to do this album cover for Space Invader. All our covers were good. When I think back, a cover that always pops into my head is Alive and Dynasty, because we had Francesco Scavullo shoot the cover of Dynasty. Again, the second album, Hotter Than Hell, I thought was a great cover and had that Japanese art influence.
Very artful cover. Of the Kiss solo albums, yours by far the most successful. Not only great album tracks, but it has an enduring radio hit. You just mentioned it. Share with us a little bit of the story of how either you or Eddie Kramer or whomever came up with the idea to tap that song, New York Groove.
Well, it wasn't my idea. Eddie Kramer and his assistant came up with that song. I was resistant to record it. Who knew it was going to become my biggest hit?
Can you remember any of the process?
Yeah, I mean, I remember the stomp. Me and a couple of my friends, we stomped on wooden boxes to get that sound. Got a couple of gals to sing on the chorus with me.
In one way, it does show the production aspect of the new album is different.
This new record was a lot of fun recording and producing myself. I had free reign in the studio. I was listening to my solo album a couple of times during the recording process, and I tried to incorporate some elements from that record. It wasn't by accident. I try to give fans what they want because they're the ones that are buying the record.
That's an interesting statement. When you did the new record, you're in there by yourself doing it. You don't have someone guiding you, pushing you, but yet some of those moments in your career when there was a producer doing that ended up being pretty fruitful. You said that about New York Groove. You didn't want to do it, but it was Eddie's idea. Is there a value in bringing someone into the studio to shepherd you through the process at all?
Sure, and I got feedback from my engineers and other musicians, even friends. I'll play rough mixes for friends and say, what do you think of this? I take everybody's opinion with a grain of salt, but sometimes they're right and I'm wrong. 2 heads are always better than 1, and 5 are even better than 2.
I love your math, brother. Ace Frehley and the new record, Space Invader. Real pleasure to have you on All Things Considered.
Thanks so much. It was a pleasure being on your show. Looking forward to coming back to Hawaii if we can make that happen.
Be safe, Ace.
Okay, Dave, you have a great day. Thank you. Aloha, it's Ace Frehley, and you're tuned in to my friend Dave Lawrence on member-supported Hawaii Public Radio.